So this woman, she's about 40 years old. She runs her own business as a saving account. She travels. She does all the things. She's read finance books and she's built, honestly, an incredible financial life for herself. She tracks every dollar that she spends, not because she has to, but because she wants to. And by every measure on paper, one would say she's winning. And then she falls in love. She gets engaged. And 11 days before her wedding, her and her fiance sit down with a financial coach. And the first thing that she does is she starts apologizing for her own spending. I want you to take a look at this.
I track like every dollar I spend, only because I just wanted to know.
Are you explaining your own spending to me right now?
Yeah.
Why?
This is what I felt like I needed to do for him. So I did
Why?
it. Because I really liked him and I was excited and I knew this was going to be something. So I didn't want to like scare him away with like.
Did you catch that? She's sitting there, a business owner who has built a system that works. And when someone starts talking to her, she starts defending herself to a stranger. And it's not because the numbers are bad, but it's because someone is actually watching her. And then the coach does something that was a little bit interesting. He read a note that she wrote when she first started the coaching sessions.
Current lifestyle will not sustain these exciting changes. Shane has a unique living situation where all his housing, food, and utilities are covered. I feel judged by my lifestyle. What did you mean when you wrote that line in the application?
I feel judged by my lifestyle. She wrote that. And her fiance, who genuinely loves her, didn't even realize he was doing it. He said he maybe raised an eyebrow or maybe used humor, but he didn't think of it as judgment. And this is where the coach goes to the numbers. And he starts adjusting the spreadsheet, running projections, and showing them what retirement looks like. And all that's good because that's what he does. But there's a layer underneath that spreadsheet. There's a layer that the spreadsheet can't touch. And honestly, that's where I want to take you. Because later in this conversation, the coach asked Nicole about how she grew up with money. And I want you to listen to what comes out.
I really disliked that comment that my mom would always say of, we don't have money for that.
Right.
Never wanted to feel that, which is why I brought that like gig mentality. Like I had a full-time job and I started this babysitting agency because I was like, I want to have enough to not have to like say no to something that I want to do.
And there it is. We don't have money for that. That's the sentence. One her mom said probably hundreds of times. Not to hurt her, but just a fact of where they were in life. But a kid doesn't hear it as a fact. They hear it as a wall. A closed door, as, hey, what you want doesn't really fit into where we are. So what does a kid that hears that? What do? She goes to work at 14. She starts building a business. She has multiple bank accounts. She starts traveling, has money to buy her clothes, dining. She constructs an entire financial world whose only real job underneath all the spreadsheets and the tracking is to guarantee that she never has to hear the sentence, it doesn't fit, or we don't have enough for that. And it works. For years, it works beautifully until she falls in love with someone who asks a simple question about a purchase. And suddenly, she feels like she's 14 again.
That I need to decrease my spending significantly so I can invest more. I guess it's just makes me want to like change what I'm currently doing because it's not enough. It was enough for me as a single person, but it's not enough for us as a couple and a family.
It's not enough. And actually, it's interesting to me that you jump right into, I need to cut my expenses. But like,
so despite all the money, the moment things get hard, her first instinct is to cut things. Not just look at our saving, let's invest differently. Let's maybe grow our income in a different way. It's cut my spending. It's shrink my wants and make myself smaller. That's not a financial strategy. That's an old story talking. That's a 40-year-old woman hearing her mother's voice and doing the only thing that voice ever taught her to do, go without. And this is not a rich person's problem. This is everybody's problem. Because how many of you, the moment something goes wrong in your finances, your first instinct is to problem solve? It isn't like to problem solve. It's actually to punish yourself.
So I don't spend as much. And I know that August, I work every single day. So I can like house that because I don't spend anything either because all my expenses are paid for. I work. November, I didn't work that many days. So I can see where I'm at the end of each month. It doesn't feel like a burden to me. It doesn't stress me out. I just like it.
60 seconds of you explaining all this meticulous information that you, and then at the end you go, I don't know, I just like it. I actually think it's the last thing you said. I think you like it. I think it feels comforting. I think it feels like control. What if you didn't do it?
I don't know.
So in the midst of all that planning, It's really about control. That's what it's about. She tracks every dollar not because it moves the needle, but because it feels like holding the wheel. Because if she's logging it, she's not losing it. And if she's not losing it, she'll never have to hear that sentence that she doesn't want to hear. The spreadsheet was never the actual strategy. The spreadsheet was a security blanket. And that's what we do at TalkSense. We don't start with the spreadsheet. We start with the sentence, the one you heard growing up, the one that's still writing your budget from the back seat. Because you can't fix a money story with a calculator. You have to hear it first. Talk first, tools later.
Talk sense, make